guys, and welcome back to another movie review. So I finally watched Wicked, which I didn't realize is only part 1 of 2. Apparently part 2 comes out this November, but I mean, that's okay. I mean, time flies by these days, does it not? So that's okay. I suppose I can wait till November to find out what happens next, although we all have a pretty good idea, right? Right. I mean, going in, it starts off with probably where the second one ends. Just saying. But I will preface this saying, I never saw the stage show, so I don't have that as a point of comparison with this one. Usually I like to see both, but I don't have it on this one, because it's too damn expensive to see Wicked, and even then, trying to get tickets is like finding a needle in a haystack. It's always sold out, so I've never seen Wicked. Anyway, just going on the merits of the film itself, I have to admit I was very skeptical going in. Despite my love of all things Oz, I've also seen how awry a lot of the side projects based on Oz can go. So, I went in with healthy skepticism. However, I must admit, I was very pleasantly surprised with how awesome this movie actually is, and I think I now understand why everyone's so obsessed with fucking Wicked. So, if the stage show is anything like this was, I get it now. I get it now. And my regret is that I couldn't have seen it with Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel. Spoiler, they make a cameo. Anyway, no one told me about that, so that was a very pleasant surprise when it got to the scene with both of them. I was literally squealing. But anyway, the funny part is that I kept commenting throughout it how it sounds like Ariana Grande is doing a Kristen Chenoweth impression. Like, the whole fucking time, it sounds like that is what she's aiming for. She does it pretty well, I must admit. I'll give credit where credit's due. But, I mean, I couldn't unhear it once I noticed it, and then I pointed it out to my mom, and she couldn't unhear it either. So, but this was one of those movies that my sister, out of nowhere, asked me, have you seen Wicked yet? And I was like, no. Why? She's like, oh my god, you need to watch it right now. And I was like, yeah, sure. She was like, no, like, right now. I will give you my Amazon login. Please go watch it. Okay, you really can't fight with that now, can you? And the last time she felt this strongly about me watching something was Frozen, and we saw how that panned out, so I trusted her judgment, and thankfully, once again, she was spot on with her assessment of this. I mean, she's a professional singer and everything, so generally, if a musical catches her attention, it has to be something special. So, basically, plotline-wise for Wicked, it's essentially, I mean, we've all seen the ads for even the stage show. It's like basically what happened with the witches in Oz before Dorothy showed up. Although, I do take issue with the fact that in the very opening shots of the movie, there is, like, an Easter egg lip with Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, and the Tin Man skipping down Yellow Brick Road. It's brief, you blink, you miss it, it's one of those things where I'm like, if this takes place before Dorothy got to Oz, why is she already there? But then it pans into the bucket that killed the Wicked Witch of the West, and it's speaking on that, like, right off the bat, within the first opening moments of the film. So, order of events, little bit murky, but that's okay. And immediately it's thrown in that, like, the Munchkins are obviously partying over her being dead, whereas Glinda seems to be much more tortured over this, and there's nuance, and they're asking, but isn't it true that you were friends with her, or that you knew her? And basically the whole first film is her recounting how they met, which apparently was them going to wizard school together. It's a little bit Harry Potter, okay? Which I wasn't expecting. I told you I didn't know crap about Wicked when I went into this, so went in with a very open mind. They went to school together. They were dorm mates. Yeah, and basically Glinda was that girl. It was essentially Mean Girls. Glinda is Regina George. Whereas Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, is Katie, essentially. Except that she doesn't really have the comeuppance that one would expect. But a comparison can be drawn nonetheless. But more interestingly, they have the backstory that she was literally born green and everything. Delivered by the big bad wolf. And has a bear for a nurse. I can't make this stuff up. I think I paused right there, did an edible, and came back. I was like, oh, it's gonna be one of those kind of movies. Okay, I can roll with that. But, so, plus it's a 3-hour movie, so may as well make it as fun as we can, right? Right. So anyway, but it's not that she was necessarily born evil, actually. Throughout the whole movie, she doesn't do a single evil thing, actually. She's kind of like the anti-hero. She's like the underdog. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I see what's happening here. And there's a lot of subtext where, sure, this is about the Witches of Oz, but what is this movie really saying? And for the people who hate movies that go woke, you're not going to like this. Because it's like that. There's a lot of subtext about race. There's a lot of subtext about religion. There's a lot of subtext about a lot of things that once you notice it, you can't unsee it. It's like, I see what you did there. Like the professor who is a goat, and what happens to him, it's not so thinly veiled about Jewish people and what happened to them in a certain world war. I was like, oh fuck. Oh, it's like that. Oh! And Elphaba's green skin is codified for another race. It's just like, you can see what they're going for, and I mean, it is a powerful statement they're making, but it's just like, have to admit, a movie about the witches from Oz, I was not expecting this from, so I was just like, oh, okay, this took a turn. Wow, alright. It's like that. That's okay. That's okay. Didn't ruin it for me or anything. Actually, I mean, if anything, it added to it. And even my mom, by like halfway through, was like, wow, this is making me not hate her. It's like, yeah, no shit, that's the point of Wicked. It is telling the other side of the story. Now, whether or not it's faithful to Frank L. Baum's original works, murky at best, but I mean, there's a lot of subtle nods to a lot of different things in there, both to the book series as well to the MGM film, without it at the same time necessarily being a carbon cookie-cutter copy as so many Oz spin-offs have been. And I appreciate that. I realize Wicked was also based on a book that I now want to read, having seen how different this is from most Oz projects. I'm like, okay, you have my attention. You officially have my fucking attention. You win. You win. I'm gonna get the book. I'm gonna read it. I'll review that too. But anyway, mostly because I don't want to have to wait till November to find out what happens in Wicked, but I want to know what happens now. I'm so whiny. But I mean, there's like a whole thing here of basically a rise to power, and then how skewed things get because one person decides that they don't like what she is standing for, therefore she's going to be vilified now. I resonate with Elphaba an awful lot for a lot of different reasons. So I was like, this is my new favorite thing, isn't it? It is. It is. So, honestly, I would say go into this with an open mind. Go into this with no expectations of anything. Just be open-minded. It's really, really good. And obviously the songs are top-notch, but if you don't like musicals, I mean, that's gonna be an issue for you, because it's like the most musically musical that has been in quite a while. So, I love it for that, because I love musicals, but I know not everyone does, so I think anyone going into it knows that Wicked is a musical, though, so I don't think anyone's going to be, like, shocked by that. You know what you're getting going into it. At least on that level. There's a lot of things you don't. And I don't want to spoil all of the plot points for people who are as oblivious to the storyline as I was going in, so I'm trying to be vague, but it's really, really surprisingly good, and it takes a lot to get my attention on this type of a project. You officially have it. I'm hooked. I'm all in on Wicked now. So, anyways, 5 stars from me. Like, perfect 5 stars. I can't remember the last time I gave a movie that rating, but this gets it. So, what more can I say? Go watch it if you haven't already. If you have, watch it again. So anyways, that's it for this one for me. So anyways, you guys know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you're never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Would be very much appreciated this month, because January is always the fuck the ad revenue month with YouTube towards its creators. So anyway, anything anyone can give would be very appreciated. So anyways, never required, but always appreciated. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.